Today is May 28th, 2022, and I'm here with World War II veteran Haskell Collins. Haskell, were you drafted or did you enlist? Did you get drafted or did you enlist?
Drafted, yes.
Where were you sent for training?
In Arkansas. I forget the name of the town. It was near the capital. I know we'd go, that's where we'd go when we'd get a leave. And I forget the name of the base there where we took the training. In fact, I've lost a lot of my memory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 98 now.
How long did you do training?
I think it was, what does it say on here it tells you on here when I departed for overseas.
Was the training for a few months?
Yeah, it was at least 3 months. I don't know exactly.
Was it basic boot camp? Was it basic boot camp you did? Training?
Yeah.
Did you do any other training after you did boot camp?
No.
So after the training, where were you sent to go overseas?
Well, I come home and had orders to go to California, and they arranged it there. We went. I know we went under. We got on a boat and went under the Golden Gate Bridge
Mm-hmm.
in California, and we went to Wake Island and spent the night and refueled the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't nothing left on Wake Island but a few stubs of trees. They had bombed it.
What year did you start training?
This is December the 2nd, 44. That's what it says here.
Was it a troop ship you took overseas?
Yes.
And how long did it take you to get to Wake Island?
It says date of departure.
It's all right if you can't find a day or how long it took you to get there. What could it have been over a week or more?
Well, I think I thought I read that someplace that how many days it took, but that's about right. 8 days there, and then 2 or 3 more days to get to Luzon.
And when did you arrive in Luzon?
I'm trying to find that.
Was it when the 11th Airborne came in? Or could it have been after?
Do what?
Did you come in by the time the 11th Airborne dropped in, or was it after that? Because the 11th Airborne were in Luzon looking for Yamashita.
We was when we got to Luzon, we would go out every night. Our squad would go and search, make sure there was nobody around close,
Mm-hmm.
and they told us that the Japanese was all scared and went up on the mountains all around. And they separated, and there was only 2 and 3 in a bunch they'd give up fighting. So, and the last 2 weeks that I was over there, that's when we started training to invade Japan.
What kind of weapon did you carry?
I was a Browning automatic man.
A B.A.R? Okay.
And I was the last man in the platoon, and it was kind of scary because at night them Japanese would slip up behind you and get the last man. They'd cut his throat. Sometimes they'd get 2.
They were very sneaky.
Yeah, and I walked about halfway backwards to watching, and the lieutenant that was leading us had a flashlight, and he kept it down where it wouldn't show a light around. It just in a little walking path through the jungle. And when we get back to our camp, the monkeys and lizards There was lizards over there that long, and
Wow.
and monkeys would steal. If they saw you lay a cake of soap down, they'd grab that and run up on the side of the tree. And it was against the law to shoot them.
What did you think of General Yamashita while you were on the island of Luzon?
That's what?
What did you think of General Yamashita while you were on the island of Luzon? Like your opinion on him.
My opinion, that was a Japanese leader.
General, that was on the island, Luzon, yes.
Well, I was just there to do whatever the officers would tell me to do. And I know one thing, I kept my gun loaded, and if there's any shooting going on, I was going to be in there. So I wanted to get the war over and get back home.
Yeah. So how long were you on Luzon?
It's on this discharge someplace. Well, they dropped the bomb. What was it? July or
August
August
1945.
5th, August 5th and 6th. And we landed in
Did you ever run into the 11th Airborne? Anybody from the 11th Airborne?
I don't know. I know I think it was 2 days after I landed in Luzon. I saw the planes, these fighter planes, and all at once I saw a parachute open, and one of our pilots' planes, I don't know where it got hit or just quit, but anyway, he jumped out. And the plane went down, and our lieutenant went to see what happened. And when he come back, he said that plane went 10 foot into the ground. So I don't know. They kept everything secret. You couldn't write a letter home and say anything about the war. You had to. They read the letter before they'd let you mail it.
Do you remember your company and regiment?
Yeah, I was with 12th Regiment. Company A, I believe.
What was your rank?
I was a corporal.
Corporal. How did you feel about the invasion of Japan coming up?
Well, I was kind of wanting to go. all the troops. They wanted to get it over with. And we was taking training. We going down a rope ladder. And them landing crafts back then, you had to get out on the back end. You couldn't go over the side. You had to get on go out the back. And a lot of times the water was deep, and as soon as you got off the boat, you had to scatter, not be together, and try and go to the beach.
Were you still on Luzon when they dropped the atomic bombs? Were you still on Luzon when they dropped the atomic bombs?
Yeah.
And how did you feel about that?
Nobody knowed nothing about it. Never heard of that before. And the next day they dropped another one. And when we got the news back from it, they had surrendered. They didn't want no more of them.
So when did you arrive in Japan? Like after the war ended?
Next day after they dropped the atomic bombs, we stayed on the same boat and took off for Japan. I think it took about 2 or 3 days. And when we got to Yokohama Bay, there was so many ships, battleships and all. I bet there was probably 200. And the 1st Cavalry Division, they elected our troops to go ashore, the first ones. I think I was in the first bunch that went ashore. And when we went ashore and walking down the street, I never saw a soul. It was here.
It looked like a ghost town, right? It looked like a ghost town, right?
Oh yeah, there wasn't a soul.
When did you start seeing people come out?
2 or 3 days later, they come out.
Were they scared of you? Were they scared of you?
No, they're good people. They was very nice. It was their leaders that got into it.
Mm-hmm.
They was very nice.
Did you bring back home any souvenirs?
I brought home a rifle. I think that's all I brought was a rifle.
What did you do with the rifle after the war?
I don't know exactly, but I think that I gave it to I think I gave it to my brother because I nearly know his dad.
Where were you when Pearl Harbor happened?
That was I was pretty young then. When I think I was only 17. And I might have been working on the farm here for Richard Gumps. I ain't for sure.
How did you feel about it?
Hell, I feel about it just about like I feel about what's happening now. You know, that I don't want to see what or hear what's going on. All these people being killed for nothing,
Mm-hmm.
just because of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a Christian, and I believe Jesus said there would still be wars and
Mm-hmm.
earthquakes and all this is going to happen.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
It's very sad about what's going on in the world.
it's going to happen, and these innocent people, just like those kids that got killed now. Now what good does that do? This guy, well, there's something got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's just about everybody's got guns.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that even in the school, these teachers, they know pretty well what's in the mind of each kid.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them is not dealing with the full deck.
Mm-hmm.